It's such a pleasure to have you on this week's episode of Arthouse. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Coming up today, an exhibition by two scholars at Yaba Tech in Lagos. Then in another part of the commercial city, we have this group exhibition by some young creatives. So we enjoy the best from two generations on the program. Details after we hear from our wordsmith.
Our wordsmith for today is titled Tribal Marks by Oyeniyi Oluwatobiloba. Only when I was a little child, entrapped in walls of innocence, my mother drew me in arms so mild. To the towns, heart of essence, other infants laid in the arms of their mothers when they danced back and forth. Gathered drummers and skillful singers, displaying their feats with diligence. How ungenerous their betokening step, handing us over to skin carvers. And oh, how much did we yelp as our faces got stamped with marks.
Thank you for sending that in, and always remember to keep your words colorful, clear, and concise. On our first feature, Calibrated Hope is a joint exhibition of experimental works of art by two scholars at the School of Art, Yaba College of Technology, Lagos.
Experimental research miniature pieces that inspire hope and project the artist's faith is what is being displayed in this exhibition by two art lecturers, Dr. Kunle Adeyemi and Dr. Aderinsoye Aladebongbe from the School of Art, Yaba College of Technology, Lagos.
It's very auspicious this time to begin to give hope to our people, to my community. And after so much lockdown due to the coronavirus pandemic. And as an artist, I went back into my shell, particularly my studio, to begin to think and get inspired by some of the things that I've read about, and get inspired by biblical quotations and some readings of the Bible and all that stuff. And I put those thoughts into my work, and here I am. Some of this work, the body of work that I have done is what we are showing today.
When you look at the title of the works, you will discover that they are works that actually addresses and revives hope in the individuals. So it's an exhibition that is encouraging all and sundry, even the so-called art enthusiasts, that looking at the prices of the work, they are encouraging, and at the same time we are trying to put into consideration everyone that might have interest in the art. But basically, this art is just to reposition people's thought and make them know that, look, things can be better. And so we are starting very small.
Calibrated Hope is not just a way of giving thanks for surviving the stormy 2020 pandemic season. It's encouraging the audience to make every day count by doing what makes them happy. All these are reflected in the works of art revealed right from the title.
What it means is that we're trying to let our people know that there is life, and when we're still alive, there is still hope. And life is a continuum. We don't just have to end it. Some people have actually met their Waterloo through depression and through some other areas, or some of the other things because of the difficulty that COVID-19 has actually brought in.
It was a theme that the artists came up with, and I think it's very apt, especially in these times. In the last 18 months, the whole world has been turned upside down by the pandemic. In Nigeria, everyone is screaming about the economic crisis that is currently rocking most homes, and anything that signals hope is most welcome. So the theme of the exhibition, as well as the items that are being featured, miniature pieces, are, I call them doses of hope. People can come in, look at them, be uplifted. They are pocket-friendly prices as well, so we're not adding to whatever issues that people are facing. But all in all, everyone all over the world at this time is in need of some hope, and I think these pieces speak to that.
Using various themes, the viewer gets to see the calm after the storm, as the over 20 pieces are created to renew hope, courage, and lift the downtrodden, bringing a breath of fresh air to the Yabatech exhibition space.
It's a new dimension in the exhibition space. What I mean, yes, there have been a lot of shows going on, and this is a departure from the norm. If you go to some shows now, it's like you've seen one, you've seen all. And this by scholars who have really done a lot of research in materials and technique. I think it creates a new fresh air, so to speak, in the art space of Lagos and maybe in the world.
My style is based from, is gotten from my research, as an academic artist. I research into some of these areas in the course of my study, and so it's quite different from what we now know as the conventional art. This is an aspect of printmaking, but the printmaking branched into some of these discoveries.
What they are professing here, I think, is something that's been crystallized from deep research and given a thorough thought before they decide to bring it to exhibition space. So it's a departure from what you might call the run-of-the-mill, or if you like, post-school assignment form of paintings or works of art. These are really mixed media, and I like them a lot.
Most of the works are prints that can match any printmaking method and techniques anywhere in the world. And the framing, the total package, this Thai workspace too, really was a wonderful package and experience. I'm really glad I came. Analyzing the work, seeing the work, and it's a good mixture of both abstract and non-abstract works.
It's just encouraging people that you can start now. There is never a time that is too late. Despite the pandemic, you can still start again.
The artists were intentional about making this entire collection scaled down and portable without losing its value due to the spirit of the times, but intend to gradually return to the big and bold images when this phase passes.
We have heard from the lecturers. Now let's see some of the works of art produced by those who look up to them. And these are the works of art you sent in this week. Let's begin with this collage painting by Theophilus Agunwa. He calls it Zero Paint. Then Tevin Anada says, "Let there be light," with this graphite pencil on paperwork. Augustine Benjamin is showing us time and survival with his ball pen on paperwork. Then Tosin Oyeni is looking into the future using a technique he calls offset ink on paper. Oluwaseyi Ayo is showing us the innocence of a child with his charcoal and pen on paperwork. Gideon Adeayo is telling everyone to be proud of their brown skin with this realistic painting. Victor Eyinaya is also showing us innocence, done with charcoal and graphite on paper. Then Owambe series is done by Yomi with fabric and acrylic on canvas. Then Damola Adeyemo is telling us that little children have dreams too. He renders it with acrylic on canvas. Then Undubisi Frank is showing us what it looks like after the rain with this acrylic on canvas work. Those are the works of art you sent in this week. We do encourage you to keep them coming. Awesome. And we see more young and energetic images from fresh hands when the program returns in a moment. Do stay with us.
My artworks are fluid, flexible, lively, and progressive in growth and creativity. A group of
artists revealed their fresh voices at this exhibition of different works of art in Lagos.
Fresh Voices is an exhibition which reveals the images done by a group of young artists within the society who are yet to be seen or heard, exposing them to a breed of collectors yearning for something new, as well as giving these newbies a chance to be self-reliant.
The way of just helping to create not just employment and just to expose talents. A lot of these people don't have avenues of exposing what they are able to do, right? So the fact that one is able to showcase the kind of talents that exist amongst us here is very laudable, very, very laudable actually. Because otherwise, I mean, they could be neglected and get into other kinds of activities.
The stories behind most of the works of art have really touched the heart of the audience as they bond with each one that catches their eye and try to unravel the message that lies within.
It's truly admirable. I'm just blown away by the talent. I think the stories behind a lot of this art has been really inspiring. I think a lot of these artists are going to be big names in the future. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable day.
The more time you spend with a piece of art, the more you understand the story behind it, right? So sometimes, I mean, I've spent 30 minutes on some of the pieces, just trying to relate with some of the paintings. Sometimes I try to identify with some of them, so it's really inspiring, like I said.
I think anybody smart enough would be investing in African art. I think internationally it's getting a lot of attention. And it's about time, if you ask me.
While the artists explain the concept behind the pieces they've created.
Some of my paintings, they're like the 1, 2, 3 is a series, talks about my experience during the lockdown. Because during the lockdown I was depressed. So the first one showed how I was depressed, and the second one, which is they are all titled Blinded No More. The second one talked about how during the eased lockdown, my nephew did his birthday, and then my niece brought some balloons to my rooms, and she, unknowingly to her, she left some of the balloons in my room. So those few balloons, she left the green balloons, she left the orange balloon, and then the white balloons in my room. Then, I don't know, I think I damaged the green balloons. That's why you can see the work has more of green.
I have 5 couple of works right behind me. One of them is Lockdown Dialogue, which actually talks about the social, economical, and impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which caught us in grief, that resulted in total lockdown by the deadly virus. So while I try to portray there using texturized materials, it talks about 2 beautiful, elegant women, African women, having dinner, breakfast, and having a discussion concerning what is really happening about insecurity, and during it, which also resulted to the protests that happened recently, and that really caused so many chaos, and loss of lives as well.
My works here are titled Extraordinary Woman. So it's in series. So I have the series 1 and 2. So the reason for me creating this particular piece, this Extraordinary Woman, is because it talks about my mom. My mom, like the strength she has been giving me, and she makes me realize how strong I am. Like a lady, you have to be this, you have to be that. She has always been there for me. So it's talking about women entirely, how strong women are.
Young blood spicing up life with some variety. Now we're gradually getting to the home stretch, but it's been a while we showed you a photo exhibition. That will change on the next episode of Arthouse.
Next week on Arthouse. Photographer Dayo Akimbode is showing the audience the colors and flavors of Lagos in his photo exhibition at the National Museum. For that and more, tune in next time.
Your Arthouse experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Arthouse on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Arthouse on Channels. We're everywhere.
That's Arthouse this week. We appreciate you for always spending time with us. And do remember that you can relive this moment anytime. Just go to YouTube and type Channels TV Arthouse, and you'll see many editions of the program. Because I noticed that a lot of people ask me how they can view the show on YouTube. So there you have it. I'm Melinda Akinlami, encouraging you to stay safe and keep being creative.